Tonight, 2 days to go. President Obama and Governor Romney barnstorm through swing states in an election still too close to call. Our political team has the latest. With the New York Marathon canceled, runners turn their efforts to help victims of Sandy today. Seth Doan reports from New York's Staten Island. New Jersey motorists are running on empty and homeowners on the shore trying to dig out. Ben Tracy visits the state hardest hit.
I didn't expect it to be this bad. We never get this.
And food fight. John Blackstone is following the California showdown over what's in your meals and whether you have the right to see it on the label.
Why are they afraid of me knowing?
This is the CBS Evening News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Glor. As the final weekend of campaign 2012 draws to a close, the race for the White House could not be closer. The latest polls indicate a virtual tie. Taking no chances, the candidates are crisscrossing swing states. We begin with Nancy Cordes, who's with the Obama campaign in Cincinnati tonight.
President Obama joined forces this weekend with his most powerful supporter, former President Bill Clinton, who took on Romney with relish.
He's tied himself in so many knots trying to say he didn't oppose what he clearly opposed that I expect any day he'll be offered a job as the chief contortionist at Cirque du Soleil.
Mr. Clinton is being dispatched to 4 cities in Pennsylvania tomorrow to blunt a last-minute offensive by the Romney camp in that typically blue state. Mr. Obama brings up the Clinton years at every rally.
We tried our ideas, they worked. Middle class grew, America prospered, deficits became surpluses. We tried their ideas. Incomes went down, deficit blew up.
Obama officials revealed this weekend that campaign workers have registered 1.8 million new voters in key battleground states, double the number they registered before the 2008 election. They say those new voters, plus apparent early voting leads in Ohio, Florida, Iowa, and Nevada, will put them over the top. Mr. Obama told a crowd of 23,000 in Hollywood, Florida, it's all up to them now.
You know what I believe, you know where I stand, and you know that no matter what happens, I'll fight for you and your family every single day as hard as I know how.
President Obama will spend the last day of his last campaign in 3 Midwest states, Iowa, Ohio, and Wisconsin. He said today that at this stage in the race, he is merely a prop and that the real stars of this drama are his Get Out the Vote team and the voters themselves. Jeff?
Nancy, thank you. Jen Crawford now is with Governor Romney in Pennsylvania.
2 more days, and we can get to work rebuilding our country.
In the crucial state of Ohio, Romney talked today in sweeping language about a brighter future.
2 more days, we start rebuilding our country and restoring our confidence and renewing our conviction. Confidence that we're on a solid path to steady improvement. Americans don't settle. We build, we aspire, we dream, we achieve.
This morning in Iowa, Romney promised change.
I'm not just going to take office on January 20th. I'm going to take responsibility for the office as well.
With national polls showing the race tied up, Romney also is drawing crowds in the tens of thousands.
Ooh, there you go.
In Wisconsin, running mate Paul Ryan campaigned with Green Bay Packers fans as he saw support in his home state, another battleground. Romney also follows Ryan in a last-minute push through Pennsylvania. The state leans Democratic, but polls show the race is tightened and the Romney campaign decided to give it a shot.
Now, more than 20,000 people waited hours in this cold to hear Romney speak, and if he could win Pennsylvania, it would give him a lot more flexibility. But this state is tough for Republicans. The last Republican presidential candidate to win here was George H.W. Bush in 1988. Jan Crawford, CBS News, Yardley, Pennsylvania.
It takes 270 electoral votes to capture the White House, and our political director, John Dickerson, has been mapping out some possible ways to win for both campaigns. John, good evening. What does it look like tonight?
Well, good evening, Jeff. Of that magical 270, if you look at the states that are very likely or presumed to go to Barack Obama, he starts with about 237 electoral votes in his column. Governor Romney starts with about 191. With that kind of a head start, there are about 430 possible routes to victory for Barack Obama. For Mitt Romney, there are far fewer, about 76 or so routes. That means the easiest way for Barack Obama to get to the magical 270 would be to win Florida and then any of the other 8 battleground states. For Governor Romney, it's harder. He would have to win Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, Ohio, and then one remaining battleground state in order for him to get to 270.
John, there seems to be an increasing discussion or speculation that Governor Romney could win the popular vote, but Barack Obama wins the Electoral College. Why is that?
People have started to think about that because if you look at the polling, Governor Romney has led or done better in some national polls, which suggests he has more people supporting him. The president does better in the battleground states. If he wins the Electoral College, there may be a case in which more people vote for Governor Romney. That would lead to a big partisan fight after this election.
John Dickerson from Washington. John, thank you. Now the latest on Sandy. 6 days after a superstorm devastated parts of the Northeast, the recovery and frustration continues. At least 111 people are known dead. Nearly 2 million homes and businesses remain without power. That's down from a peak of over 8 million, most of them in New Jersey and New York. There is still a scramble for gas and housing as temperatures drop. Ben Tracy in New Jersey begins our coverage.
Along the coast in Rumson, New Jersey, an old-fashioned iron hand pump is the only way to get gasoline out of its underground tank. The gas is fueling generators in a town largely without electricity.
That means I can power my house, I can feed my family, we can have hot water and take hot showers, the real basics, like 100 years ago.
At stations with power, gas is being rationed. Only drivers with even-numbered license plates could fill up today. For Pam Maida and her 11-year-old daughter Samantha, this is day 7 without electricity. They don't want to go to this nearby shelter, which is now packed as temperatures fall into the 30s at night. How long are you willing to do this?
I don't know at this point yet. I'm kind of just taking it day by day.
I'm getting kind of tired of not having electricity and stuff.
Maida's 77-year-old mother Joan says this gas fireplace is not enough to stay warm.
We're sitting here bundled up and everything, and it's really terrible.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Neighbors on their street in Toms River are rushing to stay ahead of the mold that could destroy their homes.
I'm so glad everybody's safe.
Down the shore in Tuckerton, Tabitha Ludeman saw her neighborhood for the first time since fleeing the storm.
The only thing we had was the clothes on our back and just grabbed our animals and left, not expecting to come back to nothing.
These wooden blocks are all that's left of her house.
Part of our house is across the street. We seen our couch 2 streets down. We didn't expect it to be this bad. We never get this.
Now, Tabitha Ludeman did meet with someone from FEMA today to fill out the paperwork to hopefully get assistance. More than 50,000 people here in New Jersey have done the same, and Jeff, FEMA has already approved $30 million in payments.
Ben, thank you. Next door in New York, with no marathon to run, some runners spent the day delivering supplies to those in need. Seth Doan is on Staten Island.
Hundreds of would-be marathon runners and volunteers, including Sherry Harpez, met up this morning less than a mile from the planned starting line in Staten Island.
With the marathon canceling, some of the people that were running the marathon wanted to organize a way to kind of give back to those communities that need.
Wearing orange and weighed down with backpacks filled with food, first aid, and supplies, they jogged through this borough where 22 were killed and 20,000 remain without power. Harpez's running partner, Michael Reed, flew in from London to run.
How was it to have it canceled? Well, it was disappointing, but it's definitely the right decision. I think when you look around and see what other people have gone through, it's really meaningless for us to get upset over something like this.
When the marathon was canceled 2 days ago, a sort of grassroots call to action went out on Facebook. Today's finish line was this drop-off point for supplies.
It's really a bit overwhelming.
Why overwhelming?
It's kind of, I don't know, it's sad, but it's nice to see humanity come through in times like this.
These orange jerseys were a welcome sight here.
How is it to have all of these folks coming into your neighborhood?
It's a godsend.
Lorette Downey has lived here since the 60s. With her home in ruins, she slept in her car. It's believed that 30 to 40,000 people in New York are in need of shelter.
That's my flag. I put it up there for everybody.
Why did you put your flag up?
because we're proud to be Americans. We may fall, but we're standing back up.
Many here called Staten Island the forgotten borough because following Sandy, so few paid attention despite the death toll and the devastation here. Today, Jeff, those marathon runners tried to change that.
Seth, thank you. Later, how one of the most closed political systems in the world views our wide-open race. Genetically modified food on the ballot in California, and getting out the vote in the crucial swing state of Ohio. Those stories when the CBS Evening News continues. Of all the battleground states, the biggest fight is for Ohio. Since 1960, no man has won the presidency without Ohio. It's currently worth 18 electoral votes. So far, an estimated 30% of registered voters in Ohio have cast their ballots. And Dean Reynolds is there watching the ground game as both sides try to win the rest.
If enthusiasm is ammunition in this ground war for Ohio, then the church at North Point in Columbus is digging deep into its arsenal.
You know, voting is a right, it's a privilege, but it's also a responsibility.
Gail Dudley is a minister here.
There's a real excitement that even if they've already voted, they're still excited.
To the polls we're gonna take our souls.
Sunday was Souls to the Polls Day, during which van loads of voters were driven to the polling place where the long lines attested to the popularity of voting early. As of Friday, 1.6 million Ohioans had done so.
And we said, listen, you have a right to vote, and we want you to exercise that vote and have your voice heard.
That's Mallory Kimball's mission.
I've been doing this, for over a year.
An Ohio State student and Obama foot soldier, Kimball is combing neighborhoods for like-minded voters and those who may need more persuading.
It comes down to this state. So, yeah, I feel lucky to live here and be able to vote here.
I'm Jeff Johnson with the Republican Party.
A few miles away, Jeff Johnson is doing the same thing for Mitt Romney.
This is the third time I've been on this street.
With the help of his wife,
3677.
Okay.
Johnson plots an approach that scientifically targets specific people.
I mean, I'm going over my tracks again and again, meeting more and more people.
It is the signature sound of this last major offensive of the 2012 campaign, hours before a welcome silence falls on Tuesday. Dean Reynolds, CBS News, Columbus.
New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut are struggling to accommodate voters displaced by Sandy. Nearly 1 in 4 polling sites in New Jersey was impacted by the storm. They will allow early voting at county clerk's offices today and Monday, as well as emailed and faxed ballots. The National Guard is also ready to set up mobile voting booths in New Jersey's disaster areas. We'll be right back. A young boy was killed at the Pittsburgh Zoo today after falling into an exhibit that housed 11 African painted dogs. The child fell 14 feet before being mauled. He was with his mother at the time. African painted dogs are an endangered species from Africa. NTSB investigators are looking for the cause of a helicopter crash that killed 2 police officers in Atlanta. The police chopper went down near a major intersection in northwest Atlanta last night. The officers were searching for a missing 9-year-old boy who was later found. After being dogged by production delays and cost overruns, the first ever commercial flight of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner happened today. It was a United flight that landed at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. Half the plane, including its wings, is made of a lighter composite material instead of metal. Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, labeling genetically modified foods. Will a California vote have nationwide effects? California voters will decide Tuesday if food makers must label all products that are made with genetically modified ingredients. It's estimated that up to 75% of all processed foods sold in your local grocery store contain GMOs. But as John Blackstone reports, the labeling debate has been served up with plenty of controversy.
Susan Lang is very picky about what she feeds her kids, even at snack time.
Are there more cheese and vegetables and hummus?
I've seen in my life how important the healthy diet is for my kids.
Lang supports California's Proposition 37, which calls for labeling foods containing genetically modified ingredients, or GMOs.
The research hasn't been done about the long-term effects. These are brand new foods.
In the U.S., more than 93% of the soy crop and 88% of corn is genetically engineered, the DNA altered to withstand chemical weed killer. And in corn, to repel insects, pesticide is engineered directly into the kernels. 61 countries have GMO labeling laws, but the U.S. Food and Drug Administration does not require disclosure of genetic engineering techniques, calling GMO crops the substantial equivalent of conventional crops. Not so, says the Center for Food Safety's Andrew Kimbrell.
This new technology, genetic engineering, puts novel viruses, bacteria, and genetic constructs in food that have never been there before.
Fear-mongering should not belong on food labels, period.
Kathy Fairbanks represents the opposition.
Prop 37. It's deceptive and costly.
A campaign funded primarily by biotech, chemical, and food industry giants, including Hershey's, which already does label its products overseas.
The consumers will view that label as a warning when none should exist. The food is the same. It's safe, it's fine to eat.
The No campaign claims the measure will cost California up to $1 million to enforce, generate lawsuits, and increase family grocery bills by about $8 a week.
That's why I oppose Prop 37.
The No campaign has raised more than $45 million, far outspending the Yes campaign, which has raised only $8 million.
Vote yes. Vote yes.
Money talks. In California, support for Prop 37 has dropped steeply from 67% in September to 39%. But many are fighting hard for the right to know.
I've got to make the decisions about their diets, not the industry, not the government, not the genetic engineers. It's my right. It's my duty.
And on Election Day, it will be her vote. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
Coming up, young people in China checking in on America's presidential campaign. Pollsters and pundits are not the only ones trying to anticipate the outcome of Tuesday's election. The presidential campaign has also captured the attention of people in countries around the globe. Our Bill Whitaker has the view from China.
These young people crowded into this cafe for a very popular event, the last U.S. presidential debate. This cafe is in Beijing. Millions of young Chinese, like university student Wang Hanyi, are engrossed with the American presidential election.
We just want to know what's happening on the other side of the world. We are now living in the realm of social media. It's much easier to get all such information compared to the past.
We met with Wang and two other self-proclaimed political junkies, Zhan Wu, a student, and Liu Jinyang, a journalist.
American politics? Why?
American election is open, energetic.
Unlike Chinese politics, 2 days after the U.S. picks a president, China picks new rulers by a Communist Party process that's both secretive and Byzantine. The American process is wide open and accessible, even here in China, on the internet.
And we need to win that future.
29-year-old English teacher Guan Jin is like an internet political Pied Piper. From his apartment in northern China, he downloads and translates American campaign speeches and debates to feed a growing online community of followers.
They want to look with their own eyes and listen with their own ears and make their own judgment.
He got tens of millions of hits during the conventions.
On day one, I will label China a currency manipulator.
They don't like that China comes in for so much criticism.
We are going to insist that China plays by the same rules as everybody else.
The U.S. is always running the fastest in the world, and he suddenly finds that, oh, China is behind me, and he's catching up and running faster and faster.
But they do like that Americans get to challenge and choose their leaders.
They can openly question and discuss the political problems. People are all watching it, and it's like a party for the nation.
Do you ever foresee a day when what you're seeing in the U.S. could happen here in China?
It's going to take time for sure.
But this type of conversation couldn't have happened a generation ago, and that these young people call progress. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Beijing.
That is the CBS Evening News. I'm Jeff Glor. Good night.